Okay, Next Door Neighbor Blues by Gary Clark Jr. The tuning in this is an open G, so don't panic. It's actually really easy to do an open G tuning. So I'm sure most of you have done drop D before, so it's very similar to drop D. So you want to drop your bottom E string to D. So if you don't want to use a tuner, just take your D string and match that pitch with your bottom E. Right, with your D string. So you want the bottom E to be D, and then of course, since the top E is also the same, you want that to be D as well. So match those and these. Right? Now, the only other string you need to change, so you got the bottom E to D, the top E to D, so the only other string to change, like I said, it's real similar to drop D, is the A string. And the A string you want to move to G. So if you don't want to mess with your tuner, just find your G string and make your A string match it. Right? So now you've got D, G, and the next three are the same. D, G, B, and then D again, right? So now when you have an open, all the strings are open, that's a G chord. It's always a fun one to, a lot of times if you're going to be playing, I don't even know where my slide is. I think I took it downstairs, but anyways, it's a great tuning for slide, and it's cool just because you can play, it doesn't matter what tuning you're in, you can play any song. It just changes the way that you do the chord. So it's always a cool tuning to, when you get sick of hearing the same old standard tuning, it's a cool one to screw around with. So anyways, the intro kind of starts off, I watched one of his videos of him playing it live, so this is the one I'm doing. I'm sure it changes somewhat, but it goes Okay, so for the groove, again, I'm just going to be using my fingers. So if you're just starting out finger picking, this is a good one to get used to doing it. So my thumb is basically going to be playing I'm just going to call the strings by what they normally are, even though we know that we're in, so I don't confuse you even more. I'm just going to call the strings by what in a standard tuning way, even though we've tuned it to open G, right? So my thumb is going to be doing the work on the A string, which is now G, right? So we're going to be bouncing, that's our bass, right? So we're going to be bouncing on that, right? And then I'm just going to play the G and the B strings on the 3rd fret. So you hit the A string twice, and then the G and the B string twice. Now, for the G and B strings, I use my index finger on the G string and my middle finger on the B string and kind of pluck it up. So you got... And then open A string twice. Right? Now that groove, if you listen to it real carefully, every time it's going to be a little bit different, but this is the main vibe of it. So you can change it up with your fingering and make it. I notice it when I play. Sometimes I'll do it differently too, but that's the main gist is. And kind of bend it just a little bit. Kind of gives it that cool sound. So now we're going to be, since it's just a regular 1-4-5 blues, we're going to come down and play a, since we're in open G now, to play like a bar chord, you just to play a C chord, you would just bar the 5th fret from the A string down. So that's a C chord, right? So we're going to be going from a G basically. then just slide down to where you're on the 5th fret. Now bar all that. If you put your pinky on the 8th fret of the top E, kind of gives it like a C7 sound. So you can do a bunch of stuff. You can go from the 8 to the 7 to that 5, and then put your finger. Just try and add little notes in there to give it a little flavor. Whatever, you know, and then back to the main groove. So if we put those two together, we got. Okay, the intro, there's just one part. So you play this 3 times. I can't remember the exact pattern, but it's. Something like that, but it's played on the top E string. You can actually play the open B string as well and make it sound a little fatter. So you got that for your intro, right? And then slide to that C. That bass, dun dun, try and keep that with your thumb best you can. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but that's kind of, try and keep that groove. There's no right, wrong way, just kind of get the note. And then we're going to go to a D chord, so just slide from, we were barring from the 5th A string down to the 5th, now just slide that down to the 7th fret, and now we're on a D chord. And now you can add your pinky again, like on the 10th fret, to the C. Right? And that's the whole song. There's one other part. It's really, you know, this is like a Junior Kimbrough tune, or you know, some of the old blues guys. It's mainly the groove. It's not so much the chord. So it's just keeping the vibe, the you know, the feel of the song. You can bounce off that A string, which is G now, right? So from the 12th to the 10th on the B and E, it's kind of the same as doing it here. So yeah, when you play your bar chords, you know, you can add, you know, Keith Richards does open G like all the time, because so you can, when you're playing these chords, find little spots and add notes, and it's going to just add more flavor to it, right? So that's it, man. It's just. So I'm going to put the recording on now that I was playing it to, and we can jam along to it together. See, I got it on here, I think.
Hey, what's up? This is Gary Clark Jr. I'm going to play a song for you called Nextdoor Neighbor Blues on the Mahogany Sessions.
so anyways, you can see it's just a real simple blues progression, and there's a lot you can do in there. So it's really great because even on that groove, you can change the little subtleties of that groove and make it, I find myself doing all kinds of crazy things. I just gave you the basic like gist of it, but try other things too. When you get used to that, you can do little subtle things there to make it even sound better. So sometimes I'll go. You can hit the open G string and then hit that sounds good together too, the B string on the 3rd fret and the open G. You can throw that in there too. It's real subtle. All kinds of different things to kind of give it a different a vibe every time. So sometimes what I'll do is try and do like one pattern real close to that the first time through, and then the second time through just it's the same vibe of it, but you vary it just enough to make it so the listener's like, oh wow, something, it makes it sound a lot cooler. So anyways, open G tuning is a really cool tuning to mess around with, so I'd encourage you to plus if you play some slide, it's a great, open G is great. You can play so many cool songs, and it sounds great with slide too. So anyways, enjoy that one.